Hi, today on A2SOS's Tech Tips, I'm going to give you 6 strategies for staying safe online and avoid being scammed. So let's go to the computer and get started.
Hello, and here we are on my computer screen, and we're in my Gmail account. So what we're going to do first is talk a little bit about if you receive an email from someone, you might know, or it looks like it's from a company like this one in particular here that I'm looking at, where it says Adobe Acrobat. And inside the email, when we open it up, there's a link that you could click on. What you should do first before you click on any link, especially if the email looks a little funny, is to go to the information right next to the "to" on the email. And it should be on all applications. You should be able to see this information. And on this particular Gmail application, it says show details where this little arrow is next to me. So I'm going to tap on that, and it's going to show me the details of who the email is actually from, who it's going to reply to, and who it was sent to, dates, etc. And you can see who it's mailed by, the actual web address. So when I'm looking at an email with a link in it, always I look, even if it's not a link, but it's something else, I would look at here where it says from and look at the actual email address rather than just the name, and make sure whatever it says after the @ sign, that it's a legitimate address. And even before. So I would look at the whole email address and make sure that it makes sense. This one says mail@adobe.com, which makes sense. Also, look at the reply to. Sometimes someone will send it with the from as the correct email address, but the reply to will be a different email address. And that's really an indicator that there's something wrong and that this is a scam. This right now is exactly the same, which is great. So I would say that this looks pretty good. This looks like that it's legitimately from this company, Adobe Acrobat. So that's one tip, to make sure that look at that, show the details of where everything is coming from and where it's going to be sent to. And again, I've seen emails where they're just looking to get more emails. So they will send an email saying, I have a problem with da-da-da-da-da, and it's from your contact. What you need to do is either call your contact or send them a separate email rather than replying to the one that you received. The next thing that we're going to go to on the tips for keeping yourself safe is we're going to go to a web page. Now, the best thing you can do is, if you know the actual website address, then what you're going to do is click up here like I have in the address bar, which is called the URL address bar, and you type in the actual address. So let's go to Google. Now it goes directly to Google. So my third tip is that if you don't know the actual web address and you're trying to find the website and you're using like a Google search or another different search engine, type in what you're searching for. Say it was constant contacts, and then hit the return key. Now, as you can see, when I look down, it says email delivery and marketing. Well, that's what I'm looking for, but I'm not really looking for, I'm looking for a specific email and marketing called constant contact. It doesn't really necessarily come up first, but if you do look over on the right-hand side, sometimes you'll be able to see the actual company. So over here it says constant contacts. That's what I'm looking for. So instead of looking straight on the list that comes down, you can look to your right, or you can scroll down. So my biggest tip on this, in this regards, and it goes along with not just step 3 but step 5, is that when you're looking for a particular website that you want to find for a particular company and you do a search, you should be looking directly above the name of the product that's blue and underlined. It will there tell you above the list that you see where it lists the blue, and it's kind of, when you move your mouse over, it underlines it. Above that, you can see that there's a listed email address, and this is not the address I'm really looking for. I'm not looking for sendinblue.com. So I would scroll down, and usually you can find what you're looking for about the 4th or 5th one down, and that's where the real contact is. These are all ads. Someone's paid for those. So if you want, and sometimes people who are nefarious will put something in there for you to click on. So the best thing to do is to make sure before you click that the correct website address is listed right above the blue underlined list. So I see right here it says constantcontacts.com, and then I could click on that. So that's a great tip. So another tip that I want to talk to you about is this website called Snoops.com. This is a great place to find if you've been exposed to or seen misinformation or disinformation through either an email or through social media. Not everybody checks when they share. So what you should do is search on the subject matter or the post, whatever was put into the post, right here where it says search snoops.com. And if I search for, I saw one about Kamala Harris once, I'm going to put that in and I'm going to search. Did Kamala Harris say January 6th attack was worse than 9/11 Pearl Harbor? And so I will scroll down and see if, now they'll say, well, they said it's mostly false. And then they'll tell you what's true about what was said and then what was false. A lot of times they'll say it's false, or they'll say mostly true or mostly false. So this is a great resource for snooping out what might not be true or might be disinformation. So the last tip I have is about donating to a cause. Again, the best way to do this, which is tip number 5, is that if you know the website's URL, is just click into the web address up at the top of the screen in the bar and type it in. So let's say we wanted to donate to the Red Cross. redcross.org. So here's a couple things that you want to look at when you're looking at the website. First thing you want to look at for is when you're donating or you're having any kind of transaction with them, is that this right here up at the top where the address bar is, it has a lock on it. And if I click on that lock, it means the connection is secure, which means that it is encrypted. When secure information is sent, it is encrypted. So the next thing you want to do is find out if there is an address or a mailing or I'm pretty sure the Red Cross is a pretty good place to go, but I'll show you what they have. If I look under donate, you can see that they allow you to have a third-party payment system like PayPal. That's a great way to not expose your credit card information to various websites. So PayPal and other third-party type of payment systems make it, one, it makes it easier, but two, the person who's money is being sent is coming from PayPal and not from your credit card, and PayPal then charges your credit card. If you scroll down, I'm going to show you what the other things you're going to look for. You're going to look for something that says like a mailing address instead of having to send it through the web. You want to be able to see a phone number of that particular website. These are all indicators that this is a valid website, and that if you're really not sure, you have the ability to call and make sure that this is a legitimate website. And you can also see over here the accreditation by the Better Business Bureau. That's also a great indicator that this is a trusted website. You could always go to the Better Business Bureau and search the organization out just to make sure that there's no complaints, and that's the bbb.org. You can see I, again, typed it right into my web address. And the other thing that I want to recommend too is that if you're, always keep a paper receipt of what you've donated so you know exactly what you're trying to do, and or a digital receipt of your donation. So that's it for the tips for keeping you safe. You can also check out some of my other videos that I've created for tech tips by going to the YouTube channel of Act 2 Share Our Sage.